There are souls born with a delicate, translucent veil within them, allowing them to perceive the world not just with ordinary eyes, but with an invisible depth, where symbols, meanings, and hidden connections weave a complex tapestry of existence. They are intuitive introverts, solitary travelers on a path of inner exploration, whose inner worlds are so rich that, at times, it makes them feel completely isolated from the outside world. Imagine Alice. From a young age, Alice was unlike other children. While her friends were engrossed in noisy games, Alice would often sit quietly under the ancient tree in the garden, her eyes gazing into the distance as if watching some invisible dance that only she could see. She could look at a cloud and envision an epic story, hear the wind and sense the sorrow or joy of a distant spirit. Alice's world wasn't what was apparent on the surface. It was a continuous flow of images, symbols, and hidden connections between all things. A flower wasn't just a flower, it was a symbol of fragile life, ephemeral beauty, and the eternal cycle of rebirth. A word wasn't just a sound, it carried layers upon layers of meaning, unspoken emotions, and hidden motives. Because of this special ability, Alice often felt like an outsider. She said things others didn't understand. She saw things others didn't perceive. Her attempts to explain her rich inner world were often met with puzzled looks, forced smiles, or indifference. Gradually, Alice learned to keep her discoveries to herself, retreating deeper into her inner world where she felt safe and understood. Isolation became a familiar companion, a price to pay for a different vision. But Carl Jung, the eminent psychologist, warned of a potential danger for those who possess the gift of introverted intuition, the risk of psychic inflation. This is when one's ego becomes identified with the deep, unconscious contents they access. For Alice, this meant that the profound insights, the powerful symbols she perceived from the unconscious, gradually came to be regarded by her as absolute truths, as sacred revelations only she could see. She began to believe that she held the key to cosmic secrets, that her visions were undeniable truths. Gradually, this self-confidence transformed into a form of spiritual arrogance. Alice began to disdain the shallow ways others viewed the world. She felt superior, special, and this further alienated her from reality and human relationships. She believed she didn't need to try to connect with others because they couldn't understand her depth. Daily life, simple interactions, material needs became meaningless, trivial in her eyes. She lived in a world of grand ideas, magnificent symbols, but lost her connection to the ground, to the real people around her. Alice found it difficult to connect with others, and even with reality itself. She was programmed to look deep beneath the surface, to seek hidden meanings in everything. This made it impossible for her to accept things simply. A conversation about the weather could lead her to ponder the impermanence of all things. A delicious meal could evoke reflections on existence and death. Everything carried a profound layer of meaning, and having to confront countless layers of meaning every day overwhelmed her. When others spoke of concrete, practical matters, Alice felt confused. She couldn't grasp the small details, the unspoken social rules, the common expectations. She often felt lost in conversations, as if speaking a different language. This difference led to a vicious cycle of self-doubt. Was there something wrong with her? Was she too complex, too difficult to understand? The fear of being misunderstood turned into a fear of rejection, and ultimately a fear of expressing herself. The dark side of introverted intuition, if unbalanced, can lead to a state Jung called psychic disintegration. For Alice, this was a period of profound crisis. When she became too immersed in the unconscious world, when symbols and meanings became too overwhelming without a structure or an anchor to reality, everything began to descend into chaos. The meanings she once felt were clear now became distorted, incoherent. The depth she had pursued transformed into a bottomless immersion where she felt she was being pulled down by an invisible current of images, emotions, and ideas. She could no longer distinguish between reality and illusion, between her thoughts and messages from the unconscious. Her inner world, once her sanctuary, now became a terrifying labyrinth. Alice felt disoriented, exhausted, and completely isolated. She endured long nights of insomnia, her mind racing with incessant images and thoughts. She felt as if she was losing herself, disintegrating into pieces. This was an extremely dangerous phase, where creativity could turn into madness and profound understanding could become complete chaos. In the moment Alice felt she was on the verge of collapse, a faint glimmer of light appeared. Jung had pointed out that the solution for intuitive introverts was not to reject their inner world, but to find a way to transform the unconscious into consciousness, to build a bridge between the inner and outer worlds. And the most powerful tool for this was creativity. One day, as Alice struggled with her chaotic thoughts, she inadvertently picked up a pencil and a piece of paper. She began to draw. At first, they were just scribbles, formless, reflecting the turmoil within. But then, as she continued, images began to emerge more clearly. The symbols, emotions, and stories she had kept hidden in her heart for so long began to manifest through her drawings. She drew a dark forest with winding paths, strange creatures, and a faint light in the distance. She drew a rushing river carrying fragments of dreams. Drawing was not merely an action, it was a transformative process. Each stroke, each color was an effort to bring what was invisible, what existed only in her mind, into the tangible world. It was a way for her to reorganize chaotic meanings, to name nameless emotions, to create a structure for her inner experiences. As she drew, she no longer felt overwhelmed. Instead, she felt a release, a sense of control. Alice also tried writing. She recorded her dreams, random thoughts, unrhymed poems. Initially, she wrote only for herself with no intention of sharing, but the writing process helped her see more clearly into the deeper layers of her soul. It helped her understand the messages the unconscious was trying to convey, helping her distinguish between fleeting emotions and profound truths. Creativity became the bridge Alice needed. It was not just an escape, but a means for her to communicate with herself and with the world. Through art, she could express things that words could not convey, things that others could feel without needing to understand literally. She had found a new language, a new way to exist. Alice's journey of individuation began there. Jung defined individuation as the process of becoming a whole, unique individual, integrating all aspects of the self, including those parts we often reject. For Alice, this required her to confront her shadow, all the fears, complexes, and aspects of herself she had tried to hide. The fear of being misunderstood, the fear of rejection, the fear of being seen as strange or crazy had always haunted her. This shadow had caused her to retreat into her shell, preventing her from expressing her truth outwardly. Alice realized that to truly become whole, she could no longer evade these fears. She had to take risks. She began to share her works, her drawings, her writings with a few close friends she trusted. At first, her heart pounded, fearing judgment, but the reactions she received were surprise, admiration, and sometimes deep empathy. One friend said, "I never thought anyone could see the world that way. You've opened a new door for me." Those words were a precious balm for Alice's soul. She realized that not everyone would understand, but those who truly needed to understand, those who were seeking depth, would find resonance in her work. She began to accept that her difference was not a flaw, but a strength. This journey required Alice to learn to trust her intuition again, but with a new caution. She learned to listen to her inner voice, but also to test it against reality, against feedback from others. She realized that the deepest insights should not be kept hidden, but must be shared, transformed into action, so they can have a positive impact on the world. By confronting her shadow, by taking the risk of expressing her truth, Alice gradually achieved a sense of freedom she had never known. She no longer felt bound by the expectations of others or by the fear of judgment. She had found integration between her rich inner world and the outer world she once felt alienated from. She had learned to anchor her profound visions in reality, transforming them into works of art, stories, and meaningful conversations. Jung once said that the intuitive introvert is the chosen one to walk a more difficult, more complex path. Their path is not one of convenience or ease. It is a path of discovery, of confronting the deepest mysteries of existence. But precisely because of this path also has the potential to illuminate what others cannot yet see. Alice realized her past solitude was not a punishment, but a preparation. The years of quiet reflection sharpened her insight and transformed vague intuitions into meaningful ideas capable of influencing how people see the world. Her difference was not a flaw, but a call to a deeper life and a guiding light for others. To find balance, Alice learned to turn intuition into action. She began speaking her truth and sharing her unique perspectives without
fear of being different. At the same time, she continued to create through writing, art, and music, not only for herself, but to inspire others and invite them into her inner world. Alice learned to share not only her work, but also her true self, seeking relationships and communities that respected her inner depth. She also created a private space for meditation, journaling, and nurturing her intuition, seeing it as a source of renewal rather than an escape from the world. Through Jung's ideas, Alice came to recognize the value of intuitive introverts. They are the silent architects of a deeper world, inspiring others through insight, art, and sincere dialogue. They bring about gentle spiritual change, helping people reconnect with themselves and discover meaning. In the end, Alice understood that her solitary journey was profoundly meaningful. She no longer saw herself as an outsider, but as a guide, carrying light from the depths of her soul. Her difference was not a burden, but a gift, one that allows her to quietly yet powerfully contribute to a world that is more authentic and rich in meaning.